Hello, everyone. Very good morning. It's a pleasure to welcome you to another workshop in a virtual workshop series. I hope you've been keeping well and staying safe. The topic for today is Zoho One, go from apps to operating system. And I'm John Wilfred, an evangelist with Zoho. So is my colleague Anjana Mahesh, and we will be your host for today. And just before we start, a few quick pointers. Please make sure that you have signed into your Zoho account if you wish to mirror any of our actions. And in order to do so, you may need admin privilege to access certain features within Zoho One. And please do not experiment with any of the existing settings. If you wish to try something out, do create a test instance that you can probably delete later after the session. Today's agenda, which is going to be an overview of the session and the hands-on that will be handled by Niveta. And finally, there will be a quick recap before we wrap this workshop by Anjana. That's it from me. Thank you all so much for your time and your patience. Without further ado, let me welcome Niveta to take the session forward. Maybe the virtual stage is all yours.
Hey everyone, I hope everyone are safe. This is Niveta. I am from the Zoho One team. So I am working with Zoho One for the past 5 years. So now let's look at why Zoho One. What is Zoho One? So as the name says, Zoho One, it's going to be like a one suite of application which is going to help you out to run your business from your sales, marketing, and also it covers your finance and your collaboration app. And that's why we do call it as an operating system. So if you are new to Zoho One, I would ask you to follow a trick called crawl, walk, and run approach. Crawl with the most needed app you need, then go ahead, walk with the apps which you are well versed in, and then you can just go ahead, run around along all the 45 plus apps. So this is a crisp overview of what Zoho One is. So whenever we talk about Zoho One, we do come across the admin console. So as I said earlier, admin console will be like an like center place where you can just go ahead manage all the application. So let's take user management or an application management. You do have a lot of features inside Zoho One admin console where you can just go ahead, have a look on it. You will know a lot of information on what exactly is going on in your organization. And for today, we will be looking on to the basics of Zoho One, and then whenever like we wanted to like step ahead or to release a new version of Zoho One, the one point we wanted to work on was the unification. So the first venture or the earlier release which we had, the first release of Zoho One, was regarding the unification. To be very specific, telephony was one of the unique feature we released. So I will be talking about the advantages of telephony, and also will walk you through on how can you set up telephony. And also, we will be talking about the automation, which is a part of Zoho One. So what exactly can I automate inside the admin console? So this particular topic will be an answer for that. We do call it as conditional assignment. So how can you onboard employees without manual intervention or without knowledge of the entire application? So that is where exactly the conditional assignment plays the major role. So, and then what others do you have in Zoho One? Custom fields. So whenever we step onto an application, we do get confidence in using the application in the way or with the way of customizing things. So we do have fields where you can customize it here, which will help you out in like during the user management process. And by the end of the day, numbers is what exactly we look at. So we do have a reports module where you can just go ahead, look at the numbers, and also this particular reports module help you out to ensure each and every person who's using the particular application are logging in a secured manner. So let's jump into the basics of Zoho One. Okay, so whenever a person signs up for Zoho One, one.zoho.com will be the page where they will step into. So like in order to go ahead, manage all the 45 plus application, we have given you a palette where you can just go ahead, group the application depending upon your wish. So as I said, managing 45 plus application and also like doing it from day one is going to be a really tougher task. So we are giving you options where you can just go ahead and modify it. So the first thing is the tabs which we have. So you can go ahead, create tabs or group the application depending upon your usage. For example, if you would like to go ahead, try new application, you can just go ahead, like create a tab called try new and add the app which is being like, which you're trying to explore, and you have to just hit add. So it creates a different group or a separate group in order to group in the applications. So this is about grouping or stacking of apps. So there is another option as well where you can just go ahead toggle between tabs. So it is not necessary that it must be like stagnant as in, or it must be in a way which was being like created earlier needs to be on first. It isn't necessary. So you can just go ahead, rename it, add the apps, delete it even, and also you can sort these tab as per your wish. So the next comes Zia Search. So Zia Search is like, we do call it as smart search. Why? Because this particular search gives an insight of a particular contact across all the application. It is not necessary for you to toggle between application in order to what exactly the particular user or a contact information is stored. Rather, you have to just click on an application. It gives you an insight of what exactly is happening, how many, it gives you an overview, to be very specific, like overview of the project status, or maybe the invoice which has been sent, whether it's been paid or not, whether the estimate has been approved. Everything can be searched directly from here. So it's like, we do call it as a universal search in specific. So, analytics. So, as the name says, reporting or analytics is one important feature or one important application we usually refer to. Why? Because analytics is an application which gives you numbers, and this particular application is tightly integrated across all the 45 plus apps. So, what exactly you have to do is you have to just integrate analytics, like let it take, it might be CRM or might be your finance apps. Once it's get integrated, it gives you a place or a workspace where you can just go ahead and like have a mapping, and also you can just go ahead and have a grouping of data which you wish to. If in case if you would like to look at the agent's performance on the go, the one thing you have to know is like, you have to integrate your desk with your analytics. So upon doing which, the performance dashboard will be auto fetched. So this particular dashboard is like, is being predefined, but then again you can just go ahead, modify it as per your wish. And also, like any agent who was a part of desk, like any entries made by an agent, everything can be like categorized here, and you can have a better view of your statistics across each and every apps. So that's why we do have analytics as a tab inside our Zoho One. So let's move on to the main or the hero page of Zoho One Admin Console, which is called as Admin Panel. So as the name says, Admin Panel. So this is a panel where you can just administer all the apps along with all the users. So that is what exactly this particular admin panel does or holds. So even here we do have a predefined dashboard which gives you an insight of like the users, what exactly, how many users do you have, how many applications are you like about to use or were you been using earlier, and also if in case if you have created groups of users, it gives you a count of groups. So this particular panel will be like a panel which helps you out to give you an insight of what is going on. And if in case if you would like to check on the number of sign-ins, whether a particular employee has signed in, you can have all those checked in this particular screen. And these are two important things. Like during the transformation of your business to a digitalized platform, one thing people get stagnant is like using the same feature again and again rather than exploring new ones. So this particular tabulation helps you out in knowing where exactly you are in like the digitalization process. So this particular screen gives you the most used apps, the apps which is being used by your employees in your organization, and also the least used apps, as in creator here is the least used app that is not being used much. So then we can look onto places where we can utilize the features there. So this particular tabulation gives you the insight of how and how effective are you using your subscription. So the next important parameter whenever we start onto a business is branding. So as we have stepped on to the like work from home pattern, the one platform which you can use to focus or showcase your branding will be social media. So for there, it is necessary that like each and every customers knows your brand well. If in case if your brand is known well, it will be easy for it again indirectly helps you out in like growth of your business. So that's where exactly this particular organization tab helps you out. So you can have your own name, your company name edited as your URL. You can have your own logo and favicon. And also your company related information can be filled in here. So anytime you need, you have to just go ahead and edit it if required. So coming to the next part is work location. So work location, as we know, it is not necessary that a business must have a single location to work. If in case if you are working on different locations, you can have all those locations here. We do not have a limit for this. And where exactly will these be useful is like when you onboard an employee, if you would like to specify the employee's work location and if you would like to track them, yes, you have to just make an entry of your work locations here. So during onboarding an employee, this particular like the entries which we made will be acting like a field. I will show you how exactly it works in the later phase of the presentation. So the next tab is a place where you can define your designations, or this particular page helps you out in having your hierarchies on track. So you can add your designation, add n number of designations, and you can just go ahead assign the users to the designation. So where exactly these designations helps you out is like indirectly this particular designation helps you out in assigning the application. Like coming to the point of automation, the conditional assignment, these things will be like a parameter depending upon which an application will be assigned. So I will be explaining you in detail where exactly this designation is more helpful in the later phase of the presentation. So then comes application. So we do say like whenever a customer approaches Zoho One, we do let them know that we do provide 45 plus. Actually, it's 50 plus right now because we have included a lot of newly launched application into Zoho One. So how can I use the application? So to be very precise, only when you add an application to the bundle, it goes to Zoho One Enterprise Plan. So, like all the 45 plus application or 50 plus application will not be listed here. You have to go ahead manually add them. If you need them, you can just go ahead add it. If not, you can just leave it untouched so that it remains there. Let's take a point where like I have tried an application, but then again I don't know whether it's been useful for my business. So at that time we do have an option called hide. You can just hide the application so that it will be not available in the list. So this is another trick to manage application and also manage your dashboard from a single place. So as I said earlier, not just Zoho application. If in case if you would like to have a centralized place to manage all your third-party application as well, Zoho One Admin Console act as a service provider and as well as an identity provider. What exactly I mean there? What exactly it means like you can go ahead add all the third party application even into your admin console, and you can manage uses directly from this particular screen. So this is what exactly the service provider and identity provider means. As in you have to just click on this application and then you have to add it. Once you have added the application to Zoho One admin console, you can manage the application even from the admin console directly. So let's take a place where the third party application which you're trying to use like isn't available in the list. Please do write to us. We will walk you through the steps how exactly you can have them configured inside Zoho One. So this is again an added advantage of using the admin console of Zoho One. So as you see here, Cake HR is not a Zoho application, but we have given like this particular Cake HR has been configured inside Zoho One, and you can just go ahead assign the application for the users directly from here. So as I go ahead and assign the application, I just wanted to let you know one important thing. So only when an application is assigned to a user, the particular user will have an access. If not, the particular user will not have an access. So that is one thing I wanted to say. So once you add them, he or the user will be listed here. So let's take a place where you would like to go ahead, remove the user or revoke the permission given for a particular application. You have to just hover the mouse pointer, hit disable or unassign. Unassigned means like this particular user will be completely removed from the app. Disable means the user will not have an access to the application, but then again, you can provide them an access in the later phase if in case if it is required. So this is all about applications, and this is how you can manage users. So let's move on to the next topic, which is or the next tab, which is going to be users. So any user, let's take like a user who's using a single app, or might be most of the apps will be listed here. So only when a user is listed here, you will be able to go ahead and assign application to this user. So what else I can see, or what other information can I get from this particular user information page? If you have a question like that, there are two important things you can check. One is the basic information which is being earlier entered. You can modify them whenever required, and the account activity. When did the user lastly log in? And also, does the user have any live sessions? All these things can be, all the details can be fetched here. And if in case if you would like to reset the password, if in case if the particular user forgets the password, you can just reset the password from here. And if in case if you would like to, if in case if your organization has signed up for a second layer of authentication, and if the particular password or the mobile phone is being lost or it's not in use, you can reset MFA so that the particular user can reconfigure it. So regarding security policy, we will be talking on the later phase of this presentation. So coming to admins. So whenever we have an organization, we do have an hierarchy. The person who needs the highest privilege, the person who needs the medium privilege, the person who needs the least privilege. So these privilege and roles can be defined in this page. So coming to Zoho One in specific, there are three things you can do. A single person can be a owner of the organization, wherein you can have a lot of subordinates as admins. So there are two differences between an owner and an admin. So the owner will have the highest privilege to modify any subscription related data. As in, if in case if you would like to purchase something, purchase an additional user or an add-on, owner will be having the privilege to do it, but then again, admin will not have it. So that's one difference. The second difference is like owner will have the possibility to cancel or delete this particular organization completely, wherein the admin do not have the particular privilege. So this is specific to Zoho One. So let's talk about point products, as in specific products. So as I said, we do have 45 plus apps, but then again, how can I manage the privilege? So this is a place where you can manage the privilege with respect to admins. If in case if you would like to add a user as an admin inside a particular app, you have to just hit add on the screen. Like when you over the mouse pointer, you get an option called add. Select the application or select the user here, and then you can just go ahead, assign the role as an admin, and you can just go ahead and assign it. So this is a simple way to give the privilege for a user. If in case if you would like to revoke it, you have to just edit the role of the user, and the user will be revoked with the permissions. So this is all about admins, service admins, and we have mostly covered the basics of Zoho One. So we do have a quick launch tab. So this particular tab helps you out in directly going to a page rather than just toggling between tabs. So it's called as quick launch. So let's go on to the next topic for the day. Telephony. So, as I was giving the introduction earlier, telephony is one unique feature we found very much like easy to use. We had a lot of good feedback having this telephony to be a part of Zoho One. Why? Because telephony is a feature which is being like used across most of the powerful tools. Let's take it CRM, or might be a desk which your technical support agent is using, or might be recruit where your HR is going to call a candidate, or maybe like the communication is higher. So all in these places we need a telephony tool or a PBX vendor into picture. So the PBX vendor will help you out in making your calls professional. So rather than calling it from your personal mobile phone, you can have your PBX vendor where you can just go ahead, make a phone call professionally, and also the data entered are safe. Or whenever you do a call, the number and the conversation can be recorded and it can be used for the later training purpose. So all these things can be done on telephony. So during the next phase or during the launch of Zoho One, the first launch of Zoho One, we wanted to ensure Zoho One Admin Console is not just for administration part. So we are going to make it as a unified platform across all the apps. So we took the tool telephony as one of the unification feature and we started to work on it. So what exactly is the advantage of using telephony? So first let's look on to what exactly the advantage is, and then I will walk you through how can you configure telephony inside your Zoho One. So yes, so it is not necessary for you to cling on to the PBX screen in order to make a call. What exactly you have to do is like you have to configure your telephony inside your admin panel or inside Zoho One. Once upon you configure it, what exactly happens is you can make a call, you can receive a call across all the Zoho apps. As in this particular representation or the picture shows you that the user is on click, but the customer was able to, the particular employee was able to make a call to a customer. So as you see a number here, you have to just hover the mouse pointer across the number. It gives you an option to call. So I will give you a pictorial representation for that in the later slide. That is one important or a ease of making a call. The second important information or the second important advantage is like it gives you an information of the customer or the person you wish to speak with. If in case if you are a person who's trying to troubleshoot customers issue, if in case if you have the information of what exactly they use, how are they been using earlier, what kind of customer are they priority customer or are they like a normal customer, what kind of subscription they hold. If you have all these details in your hand, it will be much more easier for you to interact with the user, that is, interact with the customer. So all these information are being like auto fetched here. So you're not going to ask the same question again and again to the customer. What exactly you're going to do is you're going to just concentrate on the issue and try to fix the issue. And also the customer knows like you know what exactly you're looking at. So it gives you the confidence for the customer as well as for the agent in order to handle a given situation. So this is what exactly telephony integration does. So this is another good example where a call is being made from a recruit application. And also earlier when we launched telephony, we were been lagging on certain features. But then again, as days close, depending upon the feedback given by our customers, we started to build on telephony inside Zoho One. So there are a few features which we have included. Let me list them out. So the first thing is like you can have a conference call directly from this widget itself. Earlier it wasn't possible. Now you can have a conference call, you can have multi-call, and also you can go ahead configure your voicemails. If in case if you are away from your desk, you can configure your voicemails here, and whenever a particular customer calls a particular salesperson, the salesperson knows what exactly the customer called in. So all these information is being like incorporated inside telephony, which is a part of Zoho One. So the other important information is like as I said, it is not just for CRM or it is not just for recruit. It gives you an information across all the apps. If in case simple similar to Zia Search gives you an information. If you give a record owner name or a contact name, it gives you an information of all the apps. Similarly, wherever telephony feature is available, whenever you go ahead integrate telephony like into Zoho One, all the applications which support telephony will be listed here. And also, I would like to highlight one more feature here because personally, since I am from support, I do feel it gives me an ease or it reduces the manual entry. So whenever a salesperson makes a call, the particular call, it is not necessary that the call records or the call entry needs to be made manually. Whenever a call is made, or whenever a call or an incoming call is being accepted, an entry is made across CRM's record. As in case if it is desk, yes, if you have made a conversation via desk, the particular entry is made automatically once the call is ended. The one important thing you have to do is you have to just add a notes or a comment regarding what exactly happened on the call. So that is a manual work you have to do. But then again, the entries or what exactly happened, how many calls a particular salesperson made on a given day, or whether we reach the customer on time, if in case if a meeting is scheduled, are we reaching them on time? So all these things can be like easily tracked. So coming from a managing perspective or a manager perspective, these are things where manager will look at how are we addressing the customer, how satisfied our customer is. So all these things can be easily tracked by having this telephony integrated inside Zoho One. So let's move on to the next advantage. So as I said earlier on the first screenshot, so it is not necessary for you to toggle between your PBX screen and your Zoho One screen. What you have to do is you have to just hover the mouse pointer across the number. Once you hover the mouse pointer across the number, it gives you an option whether you wish to make a call. You have to just click on make a phone call and the notification window pops up onto the same screen. So it is not necessary for you to toggle between the PBX screen, copy the number, paste it across in order to make a call, and you're not going to make entries any further. So all these manual work are completely restricted here. So let's see another good example where a call is being made from Zoho Desk. If in case if a support person wish to make a call, they can directly go ahead, make a call, and the particular pop-up box will be available here. And as such, it gives you a lot of information. So let's take CRM related, desk related, or recruit, or if you have any other application configured, it gives you all the information directly on this particular notification bar. So this is another good example where you can initiate a call even from your email. It is not necessary that it must be on your chat box. Even if you have your contact available on your email, if you're going to use email as a tool to communicate and the numbers are being shared across your email content, you have to just over the mouse pointer, hit call, and the call will be placed automatically. So let's go ahead and look at how telephony can be configured. So if in case if you have logged in with the privilege of an admin, you will have an option or you will be able to view the marketplace icon here. You have to just click on marketplace. It gives you two options, whether it's going to be an application or a telephony. So let's go ahead, click on telephony. So once I click on telephony, it gives me two divisions. If in case if you would like to stick with the existing PBX vendor and if you would like to have them have the particular vendor configured inside Zoho One, you have to just click on view marketplace. If in case if you're new to telephony and you wish to have opt Zoho as a vendor for telephony, you can set up Zoho as your PBX vendor. So let's go ahead, click on view marketplace here. So once I click on View Marketplace, I get a list of telephony PBX vendors who are available, who are being supported right now. But then again, if in case if you think the particular PBX vendor you're searching for isn't available here, please do write us to support at Zoho One because your feedback is what we work on. So kindly drop an email to us. We will get back to you, and we ensure to have the particular PBX vendor under the list, or else we will let you know if there is any workaround for that. So let's have a list of the newly added telephony providers. So these are the list of newly added telephony providers. So earlier we didn't have all these vendors, but then again we had a lot of requests from customers stating they wish to have all these vendors because they use it for a long time. So we started incorporating them, and right now these are the newly added telephone providers. So let's move on to the next topic, conditional assignment. So as I said earlier, as the name says here, conditional assignment. So assignment or assigning of users or a group of users to an application or a group of application. How can I achieve it? I don't want to do a manual work. So for those, this is going to be an answer for all those questions. So before moving to conditional assignment, we need to know two important things in order to use conditional assignment. So the first thing is collaborative groups, and the other is department. Collaborative groups. So as the name says, it's a group which is just used for collaboration. Let it be a group where you would like to forward things, or a group which is being created just for as an email alias. So for all those purpose, you can use collaborative groups. But for department is a unique one. A department, as the name says, it's going to define an hierarchy, or the department where a particular employee is. So the main difference between a group and department. So groups are there isn't any uniqueness in groups. As in, a user can be a part of multiple groups, but then again, coming to departments, it's really unique. As in, an HR person can be a part of only an HR department. Similarly, a salesperson can be a part of only a sales department. So you can define a group or a department as per you wish. And let's go on to the Zoho One admin console. So whenever you log in to Zoho One, you do have, if in case if you have logged in as an admin or owner of the organization, you do have an option called groups. When you click on group, it gives you the list of groups across all the Zoho app. And also, if in case if you wish to add another group, you can just go ahead, click on add group, and you can give your own name. For example, if this particular group is being created just for a project, you can just go ahead, create it as project one. Or maybe if you have a name for the project, you can just go ahead and give the name for the project. And as I said earlier, there are two things: collaboration, group, and department. So we know the difference. Similar to the privileges across application, even a group can have a privilege. You can define an admin. So moderator is a person who will be acting like an admin of this particular group, and members will be users of this group. So moderators will have permission to delete the group, to convert the group, or else to make any modification to the group. I'm just going to go ahead and create project one. So now I have created a particular group called project one. So in order to have your conditional assignment, in order to have your automation in track, it is necessary you have a group, and you know which people need to fall into the group. Only then you can work on the conditional assignment part. So let's start with an example, so that it will be easy for us to understand the concept. So the first thing is, let's take an organization called Zoho One, and here we are just talking about a single application called Zoho Desk, and I'm going to assign this particular application desk to people who are going to use desk. So I'm going to first categorize who are going to use desk. So the first thing will be managers, or the higher level people. The next set of people will be the representatives or the agent who will be actually acting as a field persons. So the privilege for a manager and the privilege for a representative will surely be different. The manager will have the higher privilege, representative will have the normal user privilege. So I'm going to have two groups. One is managers group, and the other is support reps group. So as I created as project one, I will create project one managers, and I will create project one representatives. Once I have defined a group, I'm going to set up a condition where if a person is being added to a manager group, the particular application called desk needs to be assigned with a role called manager. Similarly, if I assign an application to, or if I go ahead add a user to the support rep group, the application desk needs to be assigned with the role of a representative or maybe a user. So how am I going to define it? So I'm just going to show you here. So whenever you get onto the groups tab, you do have an option called conditional assignment. You have to just click on conditional assignment. It gives you a place where you can go ahead, define these. So I'm just going to assign an app. So it is not necessary that only one app can be assigned at a time. You can have n number of apps. If you have two groups in general, managers and support representatives, or managers and representatives or users, you can have managers group assigned with a set of apps. Similarly, the users group assigned with a set of apps. So let me go ahead, take books as an example. So here is where exactly the conditions are applied, or conditions are being created. So there are two things here. One is Also apply conditions to existing users. Let's take, if you have a group of users and you weren't using conditional assignment earlier and you would like to use it right now, and if you would like to apply like the particular role of a particular application to a group of users who are already a part of the particular group already. Let's take, if you have created a group earlier 2 months before and you came to know that there is conditional assignment today, and if you would like to impose conditional assignment for a set of users, you can just go ahead. You have to just check in, also apply conditions to existing users. What exactly happens is this particular condition will be applied even for the existing users in Zoho One. If in case if it is not checked, only for the new users who are being a part of this group will have this particular condition applied. So this is the difference between having this checked and unchecked. The next important thing is override the roles assigned manually to users. Again, the same scenario where I have been using applications, I have been manually assigning roles for the users. So today, like I have a huge, or the growth of my employee has been increased, I would like to categorize them even more, as in the representative groups needs two more divisions, as in senior representatives and a newbie and a normal representative. So if you would like to create new roles for an application, it is really easy. If you go ahead, check it out. What exactly happens is the group of users who have been like already accessing the application with a privilege, let's take as an agent, will also be like included for this condition, where let's go on to the next. So that is where exactly I can explain you more. So this is where exactly what exactly happens is like, if there is a role of a user who's been created earlier and the particular application has already been assigned to the user, at that time the role for the existing user or an user who already have an access can be modified. So the next part is like apply rule to all members or users matching the criteria. So if you would like to apply for a group of users, as in a bulk, you can use all members. If in case if you are trying to match up the criteria, for example, if the role of the user is a moderator, I would like to give him the role of an admin or a senior representative. Or else, if in case if the date of joining is let's take 2 years back, I would like to give them a role of a senior representative. If the date of joining is is equal to 1 year, I would like to give them the normal user. If the date of joining is less than 6 months, I would like to give them the role of new user. You can define all those things here. So provided you have all these defined in your application, once that's been done, you can just go ahead and apply these conditions and categorize users depending upon the profile or the role they are in. And also, if in case if you would like to define them depending upon the work locations or the blood group, you can even do all those things. Or else, if you would like to create a new field and if you would like to categorize them with the help of a new field, go ahead, create a new field, and the field will be listed here. You have to just choose it, and you can just go ahead and assign the application accordingly. So let's go ahead with all members, and this is where exactly you define the role of a user. So what exactly happens is the role and profile of the user will be listed here. You have to just go ahead, choose the role for the application and hit save. Once you have hit save, you can just go ahead and assign the particular conditional assignment. Similarly, you can add another app, a set of apps if you wish to. So you can have 10 to 20 apps, there isn't any limit, and you can just go ahead, impose conditional assignment. So, what about how can I like immediately sync it? If you have been like adding a new user to the particular group, if you would like to make this particular conditional assignment triggered immediately, at that time you have to just come to the conditional assignment page, hit the three dots here, and click on reschedule for existing members. What exactly happens is this particular condition runs for the entire group again, so that the user will be assigned to the application immediately. So I would like to touch one more topic here called security policy. Since we are working from home, there are certain things which we wish to do just to ensure the data entered across apps are safe. So for now, we do have four. One is password policy. So, as the name defines, it gives you an opportunity where you can just go ahead and define or restrict people from using passwords with like a stronger one. Or if in case if you would like to inform your employee to reset the password every 30 days, or might be every 2 months once, you can enforce this. What exactly happens is the particular policy will be enforced to all the group of users, and the user, whenever they log in again, they have to like redo their password if in case if it doesn't matches the complexity which you have set. And also every 30 days there will be a pop-up stating asking them to reset the password. So the next comes the multi-factor authentication. As every one of us know, we need a second layer of authentication for security. Although the passwords are one way of logging in, if in case if you have some more strength on like authentication, it will be much more easier and confident to allow people to handle the data which is entered across your app. So for that, we do have multi-factor authentication. You have to just go ahead and configure it. If you wish to have an SMS as the second layer of authentication, that is a one-time password which needs to be sent to a user after they put in the password on their Zoho like Zoho app when they try to log in. You can just enforce it here. Similar to the password lifetime, you can even define the MFA lifetime here, so that they're going to redo the second layer of authentication every 2 months or every specific days. It's like every periodic time. The choice is yours. Like you can have a choice of your own. So the next important factor is allowed IP. So as the name says, we are going to allow users to log in with a particular IP address. So allowed IPs are where there are two important factors which needs to be met. So the user, the particular organization must have a static IP address purchased from the internet service provider. If you have that, then this is going to be an easy thing for you to set up or configure. So as we know, any Zoho app is a cloud-based app. So how are we going to manage or restrict the web sessions which is being created by your employees? So this is a place where you can modify it. If in case if you would like to have a session lifetime, as in only this many hours the particular user needs to log in, you can have that. Or else, if in case if the particular Zoho one has been idle for a long time, if you would like to make them log out or force log out, at that time you can just go ahead set the idle session timeout. How many gadgets they can log into your system, as in if they have logged into your computer, they should not log into another computer with the same credentials. If you would like to restrict all those things, so this is a place where you can restrict them. So if in case if you give concurrent sessions as two, they can have two sessions logged in at a time. If not, if in case if you have configured it as one, if they go ahead try to log into another account or maybe through another browser or a different gadget or a different computer, they will not be able to do it. So this is where you can exactly restrict it. So I hope I made clear how this particular conditional assignment works. And this helps generally out in ensuring that you're not going to manually do a lot of things during the onboarding of a particular employee. What exactly you have to know is you have to know two things: which category they fall in. Are they managers or are the representatives? And which department they fall in. If you know these two things, you can easily assign application, and it is not necessary for you to know or check on which particular role they have to do it, because it's like a one time setup you have to work on in the initial phase, and things goes automatically together. So as I said, custom fields are place where you can just customize your own fields, and report modules give you an overview of what exactly is happening across your apps. So where exactly I can define a custom field is like here under users, you do have an option called manage fields. You can have n number of custom fields. This particular field can be utilized during the importing of users. If you're trying to import a group of users, you have preset fields, and if you would like to have all those fields inside Zoho One, at that time you need a relevant field here, so that you can map the fields. Data gets populated directly into the Zoho One admin console. By default, we do support few field types here. If in case if you would like to increase or if you would like to have a different type of field type, please do write to us. We are working on revamping the field types as per customer requirement. And having said all those things, let's move to reports. So reports are of two kinds. One which helps you out for security, other to keep yourself in track. Let me explain you how we do define it. So when you go to Zoho One, you do have a separate tab called reports. When you just go ahead, click on it. There are four kinds of reports. I do categorize it as two. One which defines your security, as in the login and multi-factor authentication. If in case if a particular user logs in fails multiple times, more than 10 times, at that time it is necessary for you to intervene, understand what exactly is going on. If in case if it is a spam or if someone else is trying to log into your system, all these things can be tracked by having a look of the login. If in case if you would like to get a stat of how many employee have been using multi-factor authentication, or how many employee have been using the second layer of authentication, so this is where exactly you get the information. So the users and application defines the effectivity of using the app, or how effective a user is working. How effectively am I using the resources which is a part of Zoho One? So all these things can be like all the data related things can be fetched from the users and applications tab. So this is all about reports and custom fields. So I'm going to show you like our new work or our new venture. Why? Because we are about to launch the next version of Zoho One, which is going to be the version Zoho One 3.0. So the features I'm going to show right now might not be available on your end, but we are about to launch it like very quickly, maybe within this year. If in case if you would like to have a view on the new venture, here is where exactly it is. I'm going to show you the highlights of the new features. So as we were talking on the earlier launch, unification is anytime our need or our motto to reach. So even in the next phase, the version Zoho One 3.0, we have been trying to unify the Zoho One platform, the Zoho One admin console, as an application. So till now, administration is one thing you can do from Zoho One. But from now on, once the product, the new version is being released, there are a lot more you can do. And to be very specific, any employee in Zoho uses Zoho apps. We do not use any third-party apps. So personally, we were the people who have been testing Zoho One for a long time. So this particular admin console did magic for us, did reduce a lot of manual work. So I'm just going to give you a quick tour on how exactly it is. So here are the feature highlights. So we have defined a specific sidebar, a universal sidebar where you can access all the 40 or 50 apps directly from a single screen. The next important place is how am I going to use the apps? How can I go ahead group them? So rather than grouping them, we have given you another place where you can just go ahead, pin it, make it as your favorite. The next is, again, we haven't removed anything from the existing view. We have just modified the particular feature. We will let you know, or else I will show you how exactly it is. And the customizable dashboard. This is the highlight of the next launch. Why? Because we are giving you a privilege where, depending upon your role in your organization, you can have an highlight or a dashboard of your own. I will walk you through how exactly it looks. And the universal settings icon. So you're not going to toggle between screens in order to get into the settings icon of an application. You have to just stick with the same screen. So let's go ahead, try the new version. So during the launch, once it's been launched, even you will get the try new version option, and this will be our new venture. So this is how exactly it looks. So as I said earlier, this is called as customizable dashboard, where you can go ahead, customize it, and I will let you know how you can do it. So this is a place where you can create your own dashboard. The one thing you have to know is you have to name it. If in case if I am a marketing person, if I am into marketing for my organization, I might need to know where I have to start my day, where I have to give my priority to. So in order to know that, it is much more easier if I can have a pictorial representation of each and every application on my screen on the start of a day. So that is what exactly this dashboard gives. So let's go ahead, type in finance. So let me look at the revenue. So if in case if I am looking at the finances part, I can go ahead, add these widgets in track so that I may know what exactly is the revenue. So there are two things here. If in case if you would like to share this particular dashboard with your peers, you have to just choose it everyone. If in case if you are trying to create it and trying to check whether it's been like first useful, at that time you have to just click on only me. So for now, I'm just going to go with everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and track the widgets or track certain things directly from here. So I surely need to know what a cash flow is, how my cash flow is for this particular fiscal year, and also the expense summary, how my company is like having, how much expenses are we having on a day, and also the sales activity. So if these things, if I know these things for a day, I know how exactly I have to prepare for the rest of the week or rest of the month. So this particular dashboard gives you an highlight of it. So I'm just going to save it. Once I save it, I get all these as my dashboard. These every single thing are called as widgets. We have defined predefined widgets here. Once it's been launched, you can see a lot of other widgets which has been like available here, but for now, since we are working on it, we have been using the widgets which our employees personally need. And also similar to Zoho, the earlier version, you do have an option to reorder them. You can reorder them depending upon your priority. So you have to just go ahead, drag and drop, and you will be able to have them reordered. So this is one important thing I would like to show you. You can have a number of tabs, and also you can just share it with your peers, and your day starts with this particular dashboard. So let's go on to the pinned in other apps. So as I said earlier, we are trying to ease the use of apps, or we are trying to just go ahead, ensure the customer have an ease to use the application, because it is 50 plus. It's not a simple count. So using the entire 50 plus application is going to be a tougher task. But then again, if you use it in an orderly manner, might be it will be useful. So for that, we have given you an option where you can just go ahead, pin the apps. As in, if in case if you think this application is something which you think it's going to be like used, you can just add go ahead and pin it. It will be available here. So it is not necessary for you to search for an application in order to reach it. You have to just go ahead and pin it. It will be available right on your deck. And when I click on this application, it directs me to the application on the same page. So earlier, you have to, whenever you click on an application, it opens a new tab. So henceforth, you're not going to toggle between between tabs. You're going to just toggle between the icons here. If I go ahead, click on click, the Zoho Click application, it just go ahead, reloads my page to click. Similarly, I can have all the application tracked from my single screen rather than toggling between screen. So that is one important factor we wanted to unify. I hope this feature is useful for you as well. And also, if in case if you are trying new application, you will be able to see the applications here. And where are my groups? Earlier I used to use group, where it is. So this is where exactly it is. So earlier we had an option for you to group them. Now we are giving you an option to stack them. The concept remains the same, but the view is slightly different. So earlier it was like a group tab, but then again now it's been stacked. You can just go ahead and create them. And the other important factor which any organization looks for is, just because of like having or trying the new version, will I be losing the existing setup I have? No, you will not. So as you see earlier in the session, we created the try new group. It's still there, but then again it's stacked. So that's the only difference. So whatever you have done, or however you have been using Zoho One till date, the data, the configurations will not be disturbed just because of trying the new version. And this Zia search, as we spoke earlier, it's a bot or like a smart search. We are still sustaining the same calendar. This is our really new unification. It helps as a support person. It helps me a lot on a day to day. Why? Because I might have a meetup as I have here. I might have a call scheduled with a customer on the same time. I must know how to arrange my calendar, because I'm using Zoho Desk for talking with customer. I'm using Showtime for having meetup. But then again, the calendar used there and the calendar used here are different. How am I going to track? How can I identify that there is an overlap of like times or overlap of meetings? this is where exactly I get the information. I know where exactly or which time I'm going to do what. Whenever I go ahead start a day, I have to ensure the particular. I have to just have a look on the calendar, so I might know which hours I'm free and which hours are already allocated. If in case if there is any overlap, I have to reschedule them prior so that the customer is even being informed. So this is one of the unification which we personally think it's more useful. So let's move on to the next directory. So we had the name called Zoho One Admin Panel, which is an administration panel. But now the concept is slightly different. We are looking onto the bigger picture right now. So we have renamed it as directory. So as the name says, directory will be a place where you can access the same admin panel related features, but then again there are certain other added features. So the other thing is like directory will help you out in accessing the settings page of each and every application. Again, if in case if you wish to go ahead access the settings page, it is not necessary for you to toggle between screens or go to the certain application. You have to just go ahead, have a look on the application. Things must be like under the directory screen, the settings option will automatically pop up. So this is all about the new ventures or the feature highlights. So having said all these things, let me have a, like give you a video of how exactly it looks. So it's not necessary for you to toggle between screens. So that's one added advantage. You can directly click on an application, you can use them, and even you can just go ahead access or launch the application from the settings or the directory tab itself. Having said all these things, let's move on to the next highlighted feature of this next launch. So as you know, we have incorporated mobile device management as one of our feature inside Zoho One. So Zoho One is not just a tool just for administration of users, and it is not just for the unification. We are giving you another a particular or another feature where you're going to explore your mobile app management or your gadgets management of your entire organization. So this particular MDM is like one of our a huge work which we have imposed on Zoho One. Let me show you how exactly it looks. So whenever you go to directory, you do have an option called device management. That is where exactly the mobiles or the gadgets which you have issued to an employee, or else if in case if you are ensuring a customer can log into the mobile apps from their personal mobiles, this is where you can track all of them. So mobile device management is a part of Zoho One in the new venture. So as we have like as we know, we are using a lot of web based sessions, but then again having things handy on the go is one important thing we look at. And also any Zoho application which we launch do is accompanied with an mobile app. If in case if you would like to enforce people to use the mobile app, yes, you can enforce them. I will let you know how exactly you can do it. So this is a place where you can just go ahead and enroll devices. So there are two types of enrollment. One is share enrollment link, like as in you can share the link to a particular employee by just going ahead choosing them from the list, or you can choose a group of people where you wish to go ahead enroll the particular gadget. So the next is enroll device yourself. If in case if an enrollment it needs to be done just by the by the particular employee itself rather than your IT people, at that time you have to click on generate link and just share the link to the particular employee. They have to follow the steps, and this the particular personal device will be enrolled here. So here there are two types of enrollment. As I said, one is for the business and the other is for the personal gadgets. So the for the personal gadgets, it comes under BYOD enrollment. If in case if your organization itself provides gadgets to an employee, it is called as corporate enrollment, where whenever you bulk order a product, bulk order a gadget, at that time you will be provided with a certificate. That particular certificate needs to be uploaded here in order to have them enrolled. And similar to any application, we do have privileges profiles, which defines the privilege of an employee to the particular application. As in, if you would like to restrict people from resetting the phone, or else if you would like to restrict people from using certain application, using certain web browsers, you can go ahead define all those in here. And what else I can do is like The third important factor I wanted to say is like how can you assign application to a particular user. So you can just go ahead install an application. So there are two ways in distributing the app. One is manual installation from app catalog or silent installation. Manual installation is like if in case if you would like to enforce an employee to like use a mobile app, you have to just use manual installation. What exactly happens? A notification will be popped up on the customer's gadget, or that is on the employee's gadget. Once upon the notification is received, the employee has to install it. That is one way. The other way is silent installation, where you silently go ahead and install the application without the consent of the employee. So there are two ways to distribute the apps. What else you can do is you can remote lock the gadget. If you wish to revoke access of an employee, you can remote lock, completely wipe. If in case if you would like to do a corporate wipe, as in only a part of particular ram is being used by corporate, and the other, if in case if you are using the personal employee's gadget for corporate use, at that time this corporate wipe might use. If you would like to create a passcode, at that time clear passcode, as in like if in case the particular employee forgets the password of the phone, at that time you can use clear passcode. So these are highlights of device management, but there are a lot other things which has to be explained. Since we are running out of time, I would like to wrap up this session right here. Let me just show you what we saw. Like we know how to enroll a mobile device, assign an app, how can you authorize and unauthorized data, and also how can you block an app, and also app specific permission depending upon roles. So I'm just going to wrap up the session here. I do have Anjana who will be giving us a recap of what we went through right now. So all yours, Anjana.
A very good morning to everyone. I hope you guys found this session pretty useful for sure. So quickly, I'm just going to run through the recap. So in today's session, Nivishi gave us actually an overview of Zoho One admin panel, and I'm sure you would have got some useful information about telephony. Then she showed us the objective of conditional assignments with the differences as well. And she also gave us the overview of custom fields and report modules. Further, we also had a look at the new UI and its features, along with the mobile application management as well. So if nothing pops at the moment, not a problem with the Q&A, you can also email us at support@zoho1.com. We are available 24/5 as well. I've got some exciting news for you guys. So we have this team available in your respective country. You can actually reach out to them at apac-info@zohocorp.com. Anytime we are available as well. So once again, on behalf of Zoho team, I take this opportunity. Thank you so much for your time and patience as well. And I hope you guys enjoy these sessions. So please take care. Please stay safe at home. Thank you so much. Take care.